But in a free market where demand for silver as money exists, I'd expect the natural supply and demand balance to lead to a silver price around 1/16 the price of gold. Based on the historical ratio, with the price of gold around $1,400, the price of silver should be around $87. Of course, it's not. Today, silver is trading around $27. Today, then, gold is selling for more than 50 times the price of silver. What explains the difference between hundreds of years of history and today? Why is silver still so cheap relative to gold? When silver is demonetized, as it is now, meaning it's not being used for money, but just for industrial purposes, supplies soar as people sell silver for gold and other currencies. On the other hand, during periods of monetary crisis, demand for silver as money pushes the silver ratio heavily in silver's favor. For example, the ratio returned to its historic range during World War I. It happened again in the early 1970s when Nixon abandoned the gold standard. It also happened most famously in 1979-1980, when it seemed as if America was really entering a serious money crisis. Most people don't know this, but silver is actually the best performing asset of this century, not gold. As my friend Chris Weber pointed out in his November 1st newsletter, gold has risen from $256 an ounce to $1,365 an ounce since 2000. That is a rise of 433%. Silver has risen from $4.02 an ounce to $24.96 an ounce. That is a rise of 521%. In short, silver is the best hedge against a money crisis. As the dollar fails, silver will once again be in demand as money. And as this demand materializes, the free market price of silver will likely return to around 1/16 the price of gold. When gold hits $2,000 an ounce, assuming the price of gold is 16 times the price of silver, silver should be worth about $125 per ounce. My multimillionaire friend and currency expert Chris Weber believes silver will likely hit $187 an ounce. If that happens, you could make gains of around 600% if you invest at today's prices. So what are the best ways to buy silver? Well, my firm has done a ton of research on this precious metal. We have found great ways to hold the metal personally, to have it stored in a secure location in the United States or overseas, and more. We've put everything we know into a valuable guide called Secrets of the Silver Market. I'd like to send you this valuable resource, also free of charge. I'll show you how to get it in a second. But first, let me get to the third financial step I recommend you take right now. Step number 3, learn the stock market quitter's secret. If you want the opportunity to make a lot of money during the coming crisis, one sure way to do it is to learn the intricacies of an unusual investment strategy that is now making some investors an absolute fortune. At my research firm, we have been teaching readers this method for several years. And get this, you don't have to buy a single stock to begin using the strategy, and it has nothing to do with shorting. In a nutshell, this is an approach that can enable you to safely extract gains of exactly 100% from the market over and over again without ever owning or touching a stock. Keep in mind, the most you can make using this strategy is 100%. And, as with all investments, there is some risk involved. Also, it's important to note that this strategy will probably not be right for everyone, but it can be so safe and easy. Once you learn how it works, you might decide to never buy ordinary stocks ever again. Like these folks I taught the secret to in recent years. Last March, for example, Peter Koss of Boise, Idaho, quit stocks and used this secret instead. He says he now makes an average of $10,000 per month with his investments. Randy Bowman of Annapolis, Maryland, also quit stocks. So far, he's made over $87,500. Bernard Henderson of Carmel, Indiana, now collects an average of $100 a day. Another investor, Harold Welchick of New Brunswick, New Jersey, has made over $20,000 using this technique. Tim Hewitt from Sacramento probably put it best when he wrote me and said, "This has saved my portfolio." I repeat, To begin using this investment strategy, you do not have to touch the stock market. You do not have to buy anything in the options market either. That's why financial author Lee Lowell writes, "I've been a professional trader for 17 years, but many people have never heard of this strategy, let alone used it. This is a great way to get your hands on instant cash." Pulitzer Prize winning author James Stewart learned this secret recently and said, "These payouts are so rich, I consulted a colleague to make sure they were real." This seldom understood strategy is how we've helped dozens of people make incredible gains, even in a terrible stock market. And in all likelihood, when the stock market gets really bad, as I expect it soon will, this will be an incredibly lucrative and safe strategy. I'll show you exactly how this investment strategy works and how you can take advantage of it immediately starting today. Everything you need to know is in my new report called The Stock Quitter's Secret, the easiest way in the markets to make 100%. As the stock market begins to unravel, this incredible technique will likely get more and more lucrative. And that brings me to step number 4. Make sure you own the one asset that can help save you and your family no matter how bad things get. There's no telling exactly how bad things are going to get as this crisis unfolds. I firmly believe there could be riots, marches in the street, bank runs, massive arrests, and periods of uncontrollable mayhem, at least for several months as things begin to unravel. But the good news is that there is one asset you can own, now widely available in America, which should help protect you and your family from this chaos, and could also likely make you a fortune in the years to come. I'm not talking about guns or bonds or gold or other precious metals or anything like that. And of course, this has absolutely nothing to do with the stock market. What I'm talking about is a very powerful asset that wealthy families have used for centuries to protect themselves and to preserve and build their fortunes. One study tracking this asset shows it has absolutely crushed the stock market between 1970 and 2009 by returning more than 10,000% more than stocks during that period. This investment absolutely destroyed the returns of gold as well, beating it by more than 9,000% over the same period. Look at the gains of the blue line on this chart compared to the returns of stocks and gold. Multimillionaire investor Barton Biggs wrote, "This type of asset throughout history protected both your wealth and your life." During World War II, for example, when millions of families lost their entire life savings through inflation or government seizure, this was the one asset that enabled some families to protect, preserve, and grow their money. What the average American doesn't realize is that many of the richest people in the United States have a significant ownership stake in this asset. The Walton family of Walmart fame, Bill Gates, Ted Turner, the Hilton family, Charles Schwab, Microsoft billionaire Paul Allen, the Hunt family of Texas oil fame, the Hearst family, the Ford family, and more. As I mentioned, you can easily make this investment today here in America. Probably less than 1% of the population owns it today, but it is readily available and fairly inexpensive. I've written up all the details on everything you need to know. My full report is called The World's Most Valuable Asset in a Time of Crisis. There are several ways to make this investment. I'll show you what they are. Like I said, this has nothing to do with stocks, bonds, precious metals, guns, medicine, or anything like that. Yet it could save your family, could make you very wealthy in the coming years. As my multi-millionaire friend Doug Casey says, it's the one thing you should own in the years to come. I don't want to say any more about it other than that here in this video. The truth is, the fewer people who know about this investment secret, the better. So how can you begin taking these simple steps right away? Well, my company, Stansberry & Associates Investment Research, is a financial research firm. We have a staff of about 50 people, and our main objective is to find safe and profitable investment ideas that you are not likely to hear about anywhere else. Since we started this business a decade ago, the ideas we publish have helped a lot of people make a lot of money. Harold Thiessen from Montana wrote recently to say,
"My IRA has gone from a low of $315,000 to the present high of $952,000. I can only thank your Redditors for changing my life so much.
Dan Coffin from San Diego also contacted us recently to say,
"Since joining, my portfolio has grown by several $100,000. I look forward to a long and prosperous relationship."
We even got an interesting note recently from a reader named Ulysses Reuter, who says he's been making a small killing, enough to buy this nice-sized boat and a house in Mexico. He writes, "We took delivery of her 3 weeks ago and are cruising the Bahamas. In October, we will take her through the Panama Canal over to the Pacific side, since I just bought a home in Mexico." Then there was a nice note from Mitchell Donovan from Ithaca, New York. He said,
"I was working long hours with overtime to make a living when I joined you. The excellent results have allowed me to retire early."
Believe me, nothing makes me feel better than receiving notes like these. But I have to tell you, right now, I am really worried that a lot of our subscribers and many, many hardworking Americans are going to get caught totally by surprise when this inevitable crisis hits. That's why I created this video. That's why I'd like to send you the full details on exactly how I believe this is all going to unfold and exactly how to protect yourself and even prosper during this crisis. Remember, the government is not going to save you. You can either let things happen to you, or you can take a few simple steps and take charge of your family's fate. Please, just give the work I've done a look. I believe you will have all the information you need at your disposal. The best part is, you can take a look at my research and receive everything I've mentioned here at absolutely no risk or obligation. Simply let me know you'd like to take a trial subscription to my monthly newsletter called Stansberry's Investment Advisory, and I will immediately rush you Research Report Number 1, the 4 investment assets you do not have to report to the U.S. government. Research Report Number 2, the Gold Investor's Bible. Research Report Number 3, Secrets of the Silver Market. Research Report Number 4, the Stock Quitter's Secret, the easiest way in the markets to make 100%. Research Report Number 5, the world's most valuable asset in a time of crisis. Also, on the second Friday of each month, I'll also send you my monthly newsletter, Stansberry's Investment Advisory. I'll keep you up to date on exactly what's going on regarding this financial crisis, and I'll show you some unusual and incredible ways to make money now and as it begins to unfold. We have found some great ways to make a fortune as the government continues to try to bail out one failing industry after another. I'll also keep you up to date on the best asset protection strategies I come across and any changes to the laws or government interventions that could affect them. And every day the markets are open, I'll send you my paid subscribers only email called the Stansberry & Associates Digest. I report on all the work my firm is doing, the most interesting investment ideas, what we're researching now, and what we expect to happen in the months to come. So how much does my work cost, and how can you get started? Well, a 1-year subscription, including everything I've mentioned here, normally costs $99 per year. That's what many others have paid. But right now, you can try my research for half off the normal rate. You'll pay just $49.50 for an entire year. Why so cheap? Well, to be honest, our business really only works if our subscribers stick with us for the long term. We realize you've got to try our work first to see if it's right for you. And that's why, through this video, we're making it so cheap and essentially risk-free to try. What I mean is, you'll have the next 4 months to take a look at the research reports I've just described, plus the next 4 issues of my newsletter, and the next 4 months of my daily digest reports. If you decide for any reason my work is not right for you, just let us know, and you can receive a full refund and keep everything you've received so far. In other words, by taking me up on this offer, you are only agreeing to try my work to see if you like it. I hope you'll consider this offer seriously. I know in my heart it will be one of the best financial moves you will ever make. To get started, simply click on the link below, which will take you to a secure order form. Your order will be processed immediately, and you'll have access to all of my work in a matter of minutes.